Welcome everyone to today's session about .NET MAUI. Thank you very much for attending. I hope that you are having a great event with great speakers and also interesting topics. Even though, yeah, we are in this hype of AI, we can see AI everywhere. Well, there are still some developments in other areas. I must say that I'm really excited about AI because of also the activities that I do. But another of my passions is about mobile. All right, so yeah, the topic is what's new in .NET MAUI for .NET 8. My name is Luis. I am a Microsoft MVP from Mexico. Currently, I live in Czech Republic because of studies, because of work. I do research in computer vision area. And lately, I am focusing on responsible AI related a bit with the generative AI. So yeah, there are some interesting projects upcoming in our university here in Czech Republic. So looking forward to participate. But usually I try to combine this into mobile application because we all do have some kind of a smartphone or device that allows us to quickly to connect to some network or it is easier to use some application in our phone rather than in a PC. Well, so you know .NET MAUI is a technology developed by Microsoft, which is the next version of Xamarin. Xamarin this year comes to end support around May, I believe. So it is time that you migrate your projects into this platform, .NET MAUI. Now it is more stable, more mature. You know, 2 years ago, 1 year and a half, there were still some issues. There are still some issues that less. Actually, this release, number 8, was focused more on the performance, on providing a stable platform. So we might not see like new controls or new features because there is a lot of work behind. But I will explain, right? So we have these 5 topics that I will cover during our next 45 minutes or less. So we'll talk a bit about workloads, about desktop features that were introduced in .NET number 8, .NET MAUI number 8. Something interesting in the hybrid area with Blazor. What about some native implementations, especially around performance, and as I said, also stability. Well, first of all, if you want to try .NET MAUI with the latest bits, or at least with .NET 8 support, you can install Visual Studio 2022 version 17.8. That one comes with .NET 8 and also .NET MAUI. But of course, yeah, as Nandip was saying, we can also use another tool, which is Visual Studio Code with an extension to develop our mobile applications. Although I might say that it is still a preview extension, so there might be some issues or lack of features. I will talk a bit about it, and I can even show, if we have time, an implementation that runs on Linux, because even though I am not mentioning here, that one was also supported around June So, okay, let's get started. So, let's talk about workloads. This command, which is a bit related with the .NET tool, allows you to clear some packages that might be around. You know that you don't need them because maybe you uninstalled previous versions. Maybe you were playing a bit with version 6 or version 5, but now you are upgrading to version number 7, number 8, because yeah, you are migrating your previous projects into newer versions. So you might want to remove those orphan packages. Maybe you don't want to do it manually because you might wonder if there might be some issues. Okay, is it safe to delete this folder, this library, whatever? Well, this command allows you to remove, to find older versions, and maybe you want to delete them. And it might also detect some packages that are still there. I mean, you uninstalled a previous version, but the file for some reason was not deleted. Maybe because of some the file was in use for another because of another project, so it is still there, and it is safe, or the tool determines that it is safe to delete it. However, this command, let's say, works or is related with those packages that you install, let's say, with the command line, or when you install a .NET SDK version with with the installer, using the installer, not Visual Studio, but it will detect those workloads installed by Visual Studio, maybe the .NET MAUI workload or the web workload, right? But it will tell you, you don't need this one. And it will prompt you or recommend you to uninstall it using the Visual Studio install. So you can modify that and remove it. And yeah, there is a variant, clean all, which actually confirms or removes the operation. And this is some, for example, some output that I captured a few months ago. So you can see that when I invoke this command, we first of all get which version is we have installed currently. And here it says, okay, because actually I just installed the .NET SDK number 8 around that time, and I got these results. Okay, yeah, you have some workload, but there is a restart operation which is pending. You need to restart, right? Some pending reboot. So some version, some workload like MAUI-Windows or Mac Catalyst is there, and it will not be removed because Visual Studio. You install it with Visual Studio. So it is better if you use the installer to actually clear it, right? Delete it. So I can even, or we can try to run it, no? .NET work dot clean, for example. And yeah, okay. So again, I also upgraded the some subversion in .NET 8. So I have not restarted my computer, so you can see this this situation here. But in this case, it means that there is no issue with me. I mean, nothing is around that I don't need it. So yeah, we are fine, let's say. But another new feature is that now .NET MAUI is, let's say, compounded by two elements. Of course, that a .NET workload, so you can do .NET install and then MAUI-Android or some workload, right? But if you want to upgrade it, you can rely on Nugget packages. So if we create some project and we access the project file, maybe I will increase size a bit. Yeah, we might see below that in this project contains a couple of NuGet packages, Microsoft.maui.controls and Microsoft.maui.controls.compatibility. Sorry. So if there is a new version or you want to stick with a specific version of the controls, you can do it through the NuGet package manager. I can go here and you will see that yeah, these controls are there. So if you want to test the latest one, you don't have to upgrade the .NET 8 or something. You can do it through the NuGet package manager. So I can just click here and get the latest bits from these two elements. So yeah, up to you if you want to update, right? Or we can stick with a specific version, or even try, of course, experimental on release builds. And this is automatically done, so we didn't have to set up anything before, right? Just create a .NET MAUI project, and that's it. And yeah, I just explained you about it. Yeah, also, yeah, you need to set or here we can find which version you would like to use, right? In case you want to quickly modify something, you can do it through the project file. Very simple. Or of course, you can directly modify this. I mean, if you don't want to set it into some variable, yeah, you can also modify the string. Okay, so I just showed these two features, right? The clean and the NuGet package manager for the MAUI controls. So this was the very first, very simple demo, right? Not directly related with the platform, but it is a combination of all of that. But yeah. Then let's go for desktop updates, and now we will see some code, some .NET MAUI code actually. So the first one is about some improvements. Even though, yeah, this is or I have this category desktop. This is also an update that targets the mobile platform because it is where some issues might happen. What is a keyboard improvement? Well, first of all, it is quite common that if we design some UI and maybe we have a lot of controls, a lot of text boxes, when we click on one of them, and especially if it is one that is located in the bottom part of the screen, it might happen that the keyboard overlaps is in front of the input, text input, and you have to manually scroll up a bit so you can see what you type, right? Or you can type, and when you discard the keyboard, then you will see the information. So this is some problem that we have when we are testing applications, and of course users encounter this problem. But now, right, when the user clicks on some text input, automatically the .NET MAUI platform will navigate, will scroll to the control where the user has set the focus, where they have tapped, right? So that means the keyboard will appear below with some, you can see some space to spare. So yeah, it saves you, let's say, some seconds, but of course this is important, especially if you are filling up some form with a lot of data. So yeah, this one is for a kind of a UX, or it's part of a UX update. And well, of course, you can now use tab to move to some next control, right? Which is also quite common in desktop applications from WPF or WinFirms, right? Where you can set some tab index. So now we can do it automatically. Well, but again, this one is more for the mobile part. Sorry, desktop. The last one is more for desktop. Also, there is another update which is about drag and drop gestures. But the idea is that, okay, yeah, these gestures were already supported. We already have this, but there are some new implementations, and you can see it here. For example, when you initiate a drag gesture or event, and you try to apply it and drop some content into some other area, you can set some properties that impact a bit the UI. So you can set, for example, a text, a small icon, or a glyph, right? And you can also set if you want to show it or hide it, right? So you can see, for example, that yeah, we have this combination, which is helpful for the user, so they don't have to guess if they initiated or not this drag gesture. So now, if you set the show glyph, you can see that there is the gesture, but there is no icon. We can also set the text. I will show you the code to do that. And if you want to hide the caption, you can do it. So this is like the previous behavior. So you can see that there was some drag and drop, but no indication, right? And you can also show just the image if you want, right? And this is, of course, available for Windows, for Android, and also for mobile. Here it is mobile. And yeah, you can see, of course, this is native. That means that the way to show it is a bit different in an iOS device. So yeah. And the code is quite simple. I will show you in the next slide. Yeah. So essentially, when you detect or you initiate the drag over event, right? You can just get the argument from the drag event, and you can there is a property drag UI override. So this UI we will modify it. So in this case, we can immediately set is caption visible, is glyph visible, or the caption, and of course they are bindable. So you can set up some SAML or bind it to some variable in case you would like to display something that you have in your view model. And yeah, if you have a bitmap reference, you can set it for your glyph. Okay. And also another new feature is that when you initiate a drag event, you can get the position where the mouse or the finger is. And we have support for absolute position or the relative position. Like for example, maybe we have some area, I don't know, some button, or not button, some image, and we want to know in which exact coordinate, right, position the user initiated the drag event, maybe for some reason, right? Maybe in position, I don't know, 100 pixels in X and 150 in Y axis, right? So yeah, but I mean from the top left point of the image, right, of the control. Or so we have this, we can set the control, right, where we want to measure the coordinates. Or if we pass null, it means an absolute or relative to the screen itself, right? So yeah, we have that. Similar for data, we also have it for other events like hover, right? We can detect when the finger or the pointer initiated the event, when the mouse was released, when it is still pressed. Yeah, there is support for these new events, so we can use them as we want. And again, we can also detect the position in any of these events. And as you can see, we can pass different arguments, I mean, different views, different controls, depending on the relative position that we want to get, right? From an image, maybe from the container itself, right? Or the screen. Wait, this is that's the same. And finally, and this is the demo that I have, we also have keyboard accelerators, which essentially, and I think I can show you this one here in the application. Just a second. Yeah. Essentially, here, the idea is that we can associate a key combination to some menu item. So there are two. Well, first of all, we set a keyboard accelerators collection in as part of any item. For example, menu flyout item. Here we have a second one, and you can see the keyboard accelerators. Then you define a keyboard accelerator instance or object. There you can set up two properties, modifiers and key. The modifiers are those kind of support keys. I call them support keys, but you know this. Alt, Command, Control, Shift, the Windows key, or None if you don't want any of those. So I will stick with Control. And then the key, any key, right? N, X, O, A, whatever, right? However, one feature is that you can also combine some modifiers. So maybe you want to detect Control Shift X, right? So let's test it. And I will also bring the keyboard so you can see what I am clicking. So this is just, again, for some kind of a UX so the user can very quickly access some elements. So here, and of course, sorry, I associate each of these menu items to some event, right? To some handler, which I have the code here, right? On delete control, on new control. But it is very simple what it does. So if I click here in the new, you will see that I create a stack layout which contains a label, an entry, and also some buttons. And I can click again and again, right? But now let's test our combination. So, and we can also see it. There is a little helper, a small helper here. So Control A, and you can see that I am holding the Control key, Control A, and now we got it. Control A again, and so, right? And what about the delete option? Of course, delete just removes the last set of items that were added. But if I press Control X, nothing happens. If I press Shift X, nothing happens. But if I press both Control Shift and X, Then the menu item is invoked, and the code or the method is invoked, right? So yeah, here we have it. And of course, we can also discard them, or how to say it, hide them. But for that, we need to disable the flyout item. Let's say I want to disable this one. So is enabled is true, and that will do. Right? Sorry, is enabled false. My bad. Is enabled false. Yeah. Okay. So you can see that now this part is disabled, and okay, I can press Control N. Okay, for some reason. Yeah, okay, Control N. Okay, I'm not sure why. Okay, I will just very quickly. It's Control A. Sorry, because I changed it. Yeah, my bad. I was testing that they were on combination. Control A. Yeah, Control A. And now if I press Control Shift X, nothing happens because this one is disabled, right? So yeah, as the name suggests, it accelerates the interaction with our UI by using the keyboard. Very simple. Then we have some experimental element, which is belongs to the hybrid part. You know that you can use a Blazor and Blazor hybrid to bring your Blazor projects and integrate them into a mobile application. So that means that maybe you have some project that involves static code, JavaScript, HTML, but of course also C# running on the browser. And you can with Blazor hybrid technology, you can have this project hosted in a desktop application with Blazor hybrid for WPF, or also the web, or even the mobile. This feature was already supported from previous version in .NET MAUI. However, there is some new package or control, right, that was developed by a Microsoft employee, which is called hybrid web view. And the idea is that it has the same functionality as the web view from Blazor, right? Or yeah, that hosts the from .NET MAUI that hosts the Blazor app. But it also allows communication between JavaScript code and .NET code, right? But the most interesting part is that if you already have a React project, Vue or Angular, you can also have this hosted in a .NET MAUI application. Because in the end, you can like publish, right, or create the packages, package your Angular or React application. It will be a set of JavaScript, HTML codes, and you can interact with it. Right? How does it work? Okay, so we have the hybrid web view. We specify what's the folder for the source code for the, let's say, JavaScript part. In that application, web application, we can, of course, create some buttons, some inputs, right? Web elements, and you can see these were not created by .NET MAUI. These are web components, but everything is part of a mobile application. So I will show you a couple of examples. Okay, just let me see, because I think I closed that one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so if you have done some web development, maybe you have heard about local storage, right? Using a web application. There is you can create some kind of a dictionary that stores key value pairs, right? So information, and you access them through a key. But there is also support for some small database, which is the indexed DB. Okay, so you can see that this one is .NET MAUI hybrid application. Just a second, I will scroll up. Yeah. So you can see, just a second. Okay, yeah, we have our MAUI program. We have the resources folder, images. These all belong to a .NET MAUI project. But if you have done some Blazor, you will also see components. You will also see a razor, right? Element, and yeah, routes, razor, yeah. But as I said, let's say the new part is that we can add experimental or preview package, which is this one, hybrid, MAUI hybrid web view, right? And it is open source, right? And how can we configure it? Okay, so we can go, for example, to our main page. Give me a second. I will minimize this. And of course, we bring it into our namespaces. Here it is, hybrid web view. And okay, we just place it in any page in SAML. And we set two properties. Well, maybe, and one event. Hybrid asset root, hybrid root. This one is a folder inside the raw subfolder from resources, which contains the static elements. In this case, we have some JavaScript, and we also have an index.html. I will show the code in a minute. And we also set the root page that will be displayed when we access this page. So it was index.html, right? Okay, so if you remember, here we have index.html. And in case that we want to set up some communication between JavaScript and between C#, we can use this event handler, raw message received. And okay, I just set some name. Let me explain the JavaScript part. Okay, so well, first of all, the index is very simple. It is just at the beginning, it is kind of empty, but it will display a list of students. But these students are stored in an indexed DB database, which is in the browser. And all the management, inserting or removing is in this file, dbscript.js, which is this one. Right. And yeah, here you can see, okay, if it is supported by the browser, then we display some message. Your browser does not support, right, IndexedDB. But please notice, this hybrid web view is the main component, and this message, sorry, this handler send raw message to .NET. That's the name of this method. I mean, I did not create it. This one is part of the control. This is JavaScript code that is communicating something to the .NET platform, to .NET MAUI. And this message is captured by, if you remember, I set up some method. This method is here. Yeah. What will I do with the message? Okay, in this case, I will just simply display some alert, but I can do something else, like show it into some input, store it into SQLite database, send it to some server, right? I don't know, right? But yeah, we can send arguments from JavaScript code to .NET. But if the database is supported, then we can, I don't know, open some database and insert some element. There, the code for insert, I have it below. Yeah. So essentially, just access the object store, place it, and okay, if it is successful, we will show some message below. Yeah, here. Okay, I have some message somewhere. I think it is here in the show students. This show students just generates dynamic content. That is a list item. If you remember, I told you that in this HTML code I have some order list. So I will just iterate. Okay, so this is JavaScript. This is like nothing new. But the control allows the interaction between these two. So we can, of course, run the application. And sorry. Yeah. So right now it is it is how to say, empty, right? And I just brought the developer tools, Control-Shift-I, the inspector or developer tools of the browser that is part of my application. And I will show you here under application. Yeah, here you can see that in the student database, I have all these elements. And I actually insert two more. So I click here, load the data, and everything. And you will see that I actually have two more. Yeah, they are displayed here. And I also send this message, a JavaScript message, data has been loaded. So this control is experimental. I will show you a second example, which is more powerful. I brought them directly from the source code. Right? But yeah, this is kind of amazing. I like this one, even though I don't like web at all. But it brings a lot of possibilities. So this other one is some example from the package. But essentially here, okay, did I? Yeah, there should be some. Just give me a second. Did I sample? Yeah, okay. Okay, let me run it. Or maybe I did not. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, this is not the example about a React application. So let me just very quickly try to find it. Should be somewhere. Yeah, it should be this one. Yeah. So here in our raw folder, we have a React application, but let's say this one is already a package, but it contains a service worker. It contains the JavaScript code, but it is how to call it? Package, right? So we don't have access to the source code at all, right? It is here. Sorry, in the static. Yeah, here we have. So it is a bit, hidden, right? I forgot the name, but yeah, our application or there was some React to do application, and the code is packaged obfuscated. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. So, and what does this application do? So let's bring it. Just a second. Okay, so yeah, we have a sample to do application, and everything is web generated or generated by web by this application. And there will be some communication with C#, right? So here maybe explain new topic, and we can add it, and it is added into our list. We can remove it, right? Yeah, the features are there, so we can see active, completed. We have a couple, and all the code is part of this React application. And of course, we set up, excuse me, in the main page. Yeah, we have this content. We have a grid. We have a label. This title for our application. This to-do item, this is a XAML element, just a label, but the rest, everything is web application integrated into this because it is part of the hybrid web view. We set the root, which is a React to-do application. And by default, we have an index HTML, which is this one. Okay. And yeah, that's the implementation. And yeah, it's quite powerful. So hopefully there will be a newer version upcoming, right? And in this case, everything is we have some items that they are generated by JavaScript, but we handle them also with C#, right? And here we have, for example, invoke JavaScript methods. So this is like the opposite, right? From .NET, invoke something that exists in JavaScript. So there is a global set data method somewhere, right? It is a bit obfuscated, but we might find the reference, yeah, here. Right, so here, there it is, global set data, whatever, right? So yeah, this is kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to see what's new about this. And finally, we have a couple of areas, which is the native part. So the approach to .NET 8 in general has been about quality. And the team wants to start with some good base, some good foundation for everyone, so they can build their applications, .NET MAUI applications. So there were a lot of issues or bugs which were solved from previous version, .NET 7 and also now .NET 8. So yeah, you can see how many issues were closed, how many pull requests were integrated. But we can also see something about performance. There is some small research, right? Or here you can see all the details about it. So you can see that the startup time has been reduced a bit in version number 8 compared to .NET version 7. Yeah, right. So yeah, maybe here there was not so much difference, but there is something new, which is the AOT, native AOT, which is basically not using the mono runtime anymore. You can see that the size of an application is quite smaller, right? With this native AOT set to true, and I will show you in the next slide how to do it, compared to other elements, right? So here we have mono.NET 8, mono.NET 8, and native AOT.NET 8. We can see the size of an IPA, and when this one is extracted on the device, yeah, of course the size is increased, but you can see that this difference is quite significant compared to if you use mono as a runtime. This is an experimental support. You can enable it in the CS project. Just set publish AOT to true, and you will be able to test it on iOS devices. So you can see how it works in the release build of your iOS or Mac application. So essentially, you are no longer using a mono as the runtime, so things are going to act a bit differently. It trims, removes all the managed code, and compiles ahead of time. So the footprint is smaller in memory and also in size. And of course, for .NET 9, the idea is to bring this experience to Android, also for better results or similar behavior, right? And yeah, that's the idea. This one is experimental, so the team asked us to see how it works, to test it with release builds. And here also some small chart about the reduction of the some file of some sample applications, right? So you see how the size is reduced from 39 megabytes maybe to half of it, right? Yeah, essentially half of it, right? Yeah. And finally, stability, because well, the main focus of .NET MAUI in .NET 8 is quality, avoid some memory leak issues. So there were still some problems that were existing in Xamarin Forms. So now the idea is to bring a platform, a framework that is reliable for developers. So they come to develop .NET cross-platform applications. So there is again some research. In this case, the team create some application that performs navigation to a new page. So every time that you push something to the stack, of course, the memory is increased. So here are some comparison between .NET 7, .NET 8. So okay, maybe this one uses or around, I don't know, 27 megabytes. Sorry, yeah, and maybe this one 23 with .NET 8. Or maybe at some point we have around I don't know, 11 or 118, and here we have 100. So maybe around 10% or a bit more of reduction in the memory footprint. So of course, we want to avoid memory leaks, and one recommendation is to use version number 8. Of course, if you remember, also .NET 8 has long-term support, so you could migrate your code from version 7 to version 8, and it should run smoother or smoothly. Yeah. So, and before I conclude, or while maybe I answer some questions, I will launch my Linux virtual machine. So just in case you want to see also this working, because yeah, as you might know, around June last year, Visual Studio Code .NET MAUI extension was released, or the .NET MAUI for Visual Studio Code extension was released. Which okay, I don't have enough RAM. Yeah, I got this one. I might restart. I am accessing remotely this computer, so I might restart it, and I will show you while I answer some questions. But yeah, the idea is that Visual Studio Code runs everywhere, anywhere, Linux, Mac, and also Windows. It is recommended that Mac developers start using Visual Studio extension, because the Visual Studio for Mac application will not be supported anymore. I mean, during this year, it will come to end of support. So now we can use VS Code, but with this extension is also supported on Linux. So that means that now you can develop a .NET MAUI application on Ubuntu, for example. There is a limit support in the sense that only you can deploy Android applications on Linux. So there is no Windows, or you can't build for iOS, but it is something, right? And yeah, you can. I can show you in a minute how this works. Here are some links of about what I explained. And please, if there is any question, let me know. I will be happy to answer your queries, right? So, and as I said, I will show you in a minute about the Linux support. Yeah, the computer has restarted, so I will show the hybrid part in the meantime. Yeah. So, thank you.
Okay, Luis, thank you very much for this wonderful session. Meanwhile, there is one question in the chat window from
Yes,
Kalpesh.
please.
He's asking what advantages we have XAML with MAUI over Blazor.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. Well, let's say that in some sense it's like a preference. You have different controls, different features. I mean, XAML is more oriented to desktop, to web, of course. Sorry, to mobile, to desktop. And for web, you have a rich standard, right? HTML5, which has, I think, more than 10 years. So let's say that the focus is a bit different, right? Even though, of course, you can do, or you can use HTML, JavaScript for React applications for mobile. Let's say so. Let's say that the advantage that HTML has over XAML would be that you can use that knowledge to create a mobile application. But more like an advantage of XAML over HTML, I would say that the target is different. I mean, if you know, or you are a .NET developer, and maybe you don't want to learn, or you are not so much experienced. I am not experienced at all with web development. I know like the basics. So I would prefer to use my .NET XAML knowledge than to try to learn, remember all those HTML tags. But in the end, it's what you want to develop, right? And for example, Blazor in my case is quite helpful because yeah, I can also use a bit of XAML and integrate it into .NET MAUI also. Sorry, .NET knowledge and into web application or mobile application. Okay.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so do you want to go for the Ubuntu demo that you were showing for, or was it?
Yeah, I got some error. I will show you. Okay, I need to reconnect to my computer. And I think I might need to. Sorry. Last week I showed this on the .NET Conf Manila with Rehman. And yeah, it was working, but not sure what happened. So let me just close it. And because yeah, it is here, but I think I know it's about the size, or yeah. So I also need to I know enhance. Okay, yeah, it is here. Perfect. So here I have Visual Studio Code. Oops, I think I opened it several times. Okay, so yeah, I already have this extension installed, .NET MAUI, right? It is important to mention that in order to be able to use this extension, I mean, you can install it, but in order to use it, you need a Visual Studio license. However, don't forget that there is a community version, right? Or community license, which means that you can use it for free if you qualify, if you are a startup, if you are a student or freelance, right? And you don't earn more than 1 million, or maybe your startup has less than 5 developers. So yeah, I am using actually a community license, so no problem at all. Then that means that, okay, I have support for this .NET MAUI. That I can even create new project. Just a second. Okay, new window. Then Control-Shift-P. Okay, yeah. So .NET new project, and I can create .NET MAUI application. So yeah, it is here, and I can just place it somewhere. Maybe here. Why not? And then set up the name, right? MAUI. Okay, why not MAUI application? Then of course I trust, and I can of course build it. I can debug it. There is a limited support with IntelliSense. Actually, the SAML IntelliSense. You don't mind this. It says fail to restore, but don't mind it. It is actually that's also some wrong warnings or errors, but it can still build or compile. It needs a bit of tweaking, I might say, because, for example, here in the CSprog, we need to discard all other target platforms from the main one, so only just .NET 8. But of course, maybe you want to open this project on Windows or on iOS. So, okay, you can add some conditions, right, for the target platform. And if we are on Windows, then we will add .NET 8 Windows 10 support. And if we are in a different platform, which is not Linux, we will add Android, iOS, and Mac Catalyst. So this is how you would be able to target all your platforms depending on where you open this project. So you need to actually modify this, because in the default project, you don't have this. Okay, I think I closed it, but yeah, in the default you don't have, so you need to modify this a bit, and after that you will be able to build it. I will try to build it here. Okay, yeah, I also might need to set up. Okay, in this case I am. This is a virtual machine, and nested virtualization is not supported. That means that I would not be able to run it on an Android emulator, but I can set my device, and I will be able to compile this application. So just very quickly, do I still have time, or I don't want to take minutes from the next speaker? So
Yeah, sure, no problem. You can still continue for 5 minutes.
okay, perfect. Okay, so I will. I am here. Let's say in this. I am just setting the wireless debugging. So then I will also share. I have a guide we wrote with Bruno Capuano, which is a cloud advocate from Microsoft. We wrote a nice tutorial about this, which is based also on Gerald from .NET MAUI team tutorial. Okay, so let me bring the terminal, new terminal, and I need to get back to. Oh, sorry. Okay, and I need to see the Android VSK, and I think just a second. Okay, see build tools. No, platforms. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so here I should have the ADB. Yes, it is the ADB. Okay, so I need to connect to my, sorry, to pair first my device, which, okay, I need the, okay, it is the same, the port is different. It is asking for some code. Okay, now it is paired and I will connect now. Connect and the port is different. Okay, now I can select my device here. Okay, debug target. Yeah, this is my device, and I can run and debug it. Meanwhile, let me get them. Where is it? Screen copy. I think I need to extract it. Okay, or at least I will show you. Here it is already trying to show the application. Yeah, I got it. I found it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, here is the application, but hopefully I will be able to show you the app also here in the computer, right? Because I will just share my device. I will mirror it. So downloads, thing, and we have screen copy. Oops. Right. Okay, so we have ABB, and how is it? It's yeah, for the ABB device list. Okay, I forgot the comment. I just not. Okay, okay, here I should have it. Maybe I need to connect it. But yeah, the idea is just to mirror my computer. But yeah, I showed you that it was let's say built and debug here. Maybe I will just show you the debug part. So we should have, yeah, here I will, for example, add a breakpoint into the main page.samls, and you will see that we will access it. So I will just set it here. So when I click on it, I will click on the button. Yeah, it will take some time, but it will come here. Of course, because this is wireless debugging. Yeah, you can see that we reach this breakpoint. So yeah, my application is available, let's say, on the device from a Linux environment, right? So this is an Ubuntu virtual machine. That of course it works if I install it like here directly without virtual machine, without Hyper-V also. So yeah, this is also some other new addition, experimental, of course, but I hope it is also useful for you. So yeah, I think that will be all from my side, unless there is another question. Okay, so that will be all for me. So thank you very much.